Hi, my name is Ray Gocha. I am the father of Chelsey Lee Gauthier. Just recently, we spent a very difficult day in Abbotsford courts yesterday while we waited for the judge to render his verdict on Chelsey's killer, Gary Loesch. It was a very difficult 2 hours to sit there and listen to all the details. There was a packed courtroom with family and friends, and we were all anticipating a second-degree murder charge. And as he went through everything in detail pretty well, he continued to say that there was no reasonable doubt in a lot of findings, and we were all getting excited about this. Just for him to say manslaughter. That's what this man is charged with, manslaughter, and he walked out of the courthouse surrounded by 4 or 5 sheriffs. I guess they thought we were going to attack him maybe. I think everybody was in too much shock, especially when the judge literally said himself that there was such force that was plunged into Chelsey's back with a knife to literally go through several arteries and into her heart, which killed her almost instantly. That he would have possibly had to stop her from escaping. Not the exact words of the judge, but that's what he implied. Maybe she was trying to escape, that's why she was attacked from behind. But manslaughter because he can't determine whether or not his intent was to kill her. I don't know about you, but if somebody is going to lunge at you with that kind of force from behind to stop you from escaping, I would say the intention, there could be a possibility that I may kill her. Our whole family is appalled by this decision. Not to mention that Chelsey's murderer is walking free right now. He's on the street. And he was approached by reporters yesterday. Do you have anything to say to the families? And he just literally ignored the camera. He couldn't even say, sorry. I didn't mean this to happen. Sorry. With that kind of an evil attitude, I just shake my head. Our justice system needs to be rehauled. It needs a renovation. It is terrible. Bad enough he was let out on bail, $5,000. To walk the streets, that's what my daughter was worth. And now, could be 5 years, maybe time served. Who knows? I don't know what the judge is going to say. But this is a complete injustice, not only for Chelsey Gauthier, but also for Indigenous women. And not only Indigenous women, but also Indigenous people. They have been thrown to the wayside and ignored for so many years. Total injustice. Not just for the women, the precious, beautiful Indigenous women that have been violated by creeps like this, but also the Indigenous boys and girls in a lot of schools throughout the years that they found recently, mass graves. Maybe there's some good that'll come out of this. If he would have received 20 years, we would have been celebrating. He would have gotten second-degree murder. He would have been brought into custody. We would have been celebrating. But how long would we go? How long would that celebration continue until we just go our separate ways and see a victory here? But these precious Indigenous people, the women, the boys, the girls, the adults, the men, it would be forgotten again. But maybe there's a good thing that can come out of this. This is going to help me raise awareness to, you know what? There's something wrong here. We need to speak up for the Indigenous people. We need to speak up. And I want to personally thank the entire team of investigators, the countless hours they spent on this case for the last 8 years. I can't even put it into words how happy I am, what the work that they put in. The counselors, Lovepreet and Chase, and all of these. There's so many people. Plus the defense, or should I say not the defense, but the prosecution, who have put in, especially the prosecution Andrew and his team did such an incredible job. Can't thank them enough. I have concerns about our justice system. The laws that we have in this country which let a man like that walk free. Right out of the courtroom. If I walked outside and slapped someone, I would have been in jail. But he gets to walk free? We can have an amazing police force, which we do. The IHIT team over and the Abbotsford Police Department, credible. I can't say enough about how wonderful they've been, how professional they have been, how kind and loving they've been. And the work that Andrew and his team did, all of that's wonderful. But if we have a justice system that lets a murderer on the street and slaps his wrist while he's laughing to everybody on the way out, that man didn't even flinch when he was told he was accused for manslaughter. He didn't care. No remorse whatsoever. Apparently, he really liked Chelsey. That's a pile of garbage. He would have said something, I'm sorry this happened, and walked away. If he had any courage at all, he would have said at least that. The man is a complete coward. To wear a mask when you're heading into the courtroom? What are you hiding? You're a coward, Gary. You're an absolute coward. You prey on young girls. That was your thing. You'd bring women up to your grow up. You wouldn't let them bring up their boyfriends. You only wanted the women because you wanted to prey upon them. You had condoms in your tent and rope in your tent like a weirdo would have for a reason. You didn't want them to go up there and work. You were wanting to get a good time while you were up there. You were feeding stuff to them, drugs and alcohol to them. I'd say that's intent. I am very grateful for what the team did, the investigators, the prosecution. I'm very, very happy with their outcome and what they've done. Our family is very happy. It's the outcome of the decision of this judge. I don't understand it. I think it's disgusting. I think it's appalling. I think if Chelsey would have been a higher profile figure, like maybe a political, someone in the political side of her, if she would have been a daughter of someone higher up, I think this whole thing would have been different, because she's just a young Indigenous woman. Hey, let's slap him on the wrist. This isn't over. This is not over. Chelsey's life is not going to go down in vain. Gary is not going to get away with this, because he will have to stand before a bigger judge. God will judge him. But I will continue to let the world know how much this young girl meant to me. That was my daughter. She was many people's friend. She was loved by lots of people. And I will continue to remember her, and to remember how much she meant to so many people, including the team. There were members of the team that were in tears when they heard the reaction of this judge, the verdict of this judge. What does that tell you? This young lady touched so many lives, and she will continue to touch lives. Chelsey Lee Gauthier, my sweet, precious daughter, I miss you, and your voice and your name will make a difference in so many other young people's lives, Indigenous women, boys and girls, and men and ladies and men in that community. Those that have been forgotten, you are going to make a difference in so many lives, my dear, and I can't wait to see you again. And I want to thank, again, everybody that made such an effort into putting this man behind bars. But what do you do? When the Canadian justice system is broken, what do you do? Except now we have to look behind us more often now when we walk the streets, because there are so many murderers on the street that get away with this stuff. But he didn't get away with it, because now we're going to raise awareness more, so people will be aware of creeps like this. That is the definition of that man, is a creep and a predator. And we have to put a stop to this. This ribbon, this green ribbon, is a reminder and testimony to Chelsey of her life being lost by a creep. That's what these green ribbons are for. This was her favorite color. This necklace Chelsey wore. And I cannot part with this. It's got little shells on it. She loved how she looked. She cared about her appearance. She had a lot of pride in herself and how she looked. She took lots of selfies, and she loved animals. She loved people. She loved life. And that man took her life, and now he walks the street. This I wear proudly. She will not be forgotten.